Hey guys, Churchy here. So in this video, I basically want to share my thoughts about the Path of Exile 3.25 update / Settlers of Kalguur League. I'm having a great time with it so far and want to talk about that. So to start, there's been some subtle quality of life changes. There's quite a few little things they've done and they're pretty awesome. Two that really stand out to me is unlocking the waypoints by just walking near them rather than having to go and click on it. That's basically a campaign thing, but yeah, that's been really, really nice. Like during the campaign, that was great. The huge one, which is just insane how good this feels, is they've increased the pickup range on like items on the ground and stuff. So rather than having to walk right on top of the item, you basically can pick it up from further away, which feels like insanely good compared to what it was. It's really subtle, but it's hard to describe how good that actually feels. And it makes things like a bit safer and a bit more fun because you're not necessarily having to like be in as much danger to pick something up. So you don't have to wait for like some on ground effect to end or something just so you can pick something up sometimes. So I've really enjoyed that. There's been some others, but those two off the top of my head, really, really good. Another thing is that there seems to be just a new upscaler in the graphic settings that I sort of noticed. So the game is just looking really nice, really sharp. Basically, graphics are looking really lovely at the moment, and I'm really enjoying that. So another huge one that I'm really, really loving, another huge change they've made is they've buffed melee skills. It's now moving on from like quality of life and stuff, but they've made some really, really big buffs to pretty much every melee skill in the game and balanced out some of the spells and stuff. So things are feeling a bit more balanced and really, really nice. And you can make crazy builds on melee now as well. And I've tried melee builds a little bit in the past. I'm still a complete noob, really. But basically in the past, melee to me is kind of, it's kind of tended to feel like spells were generally the way that you should go unless you want to invest like an insane amount of currency in a melee build to kind of get what you could get out of a spell build or range build for way less kind of. But yeah, now I'm basically excited to just try some different melee builds and muck around a bunch and with some different skills and different builds and just different ideas and stuff. Another thing that's really worked well kind of in conjunction or alongside the buffs to melee is that they've buffed life rolls on gear. So it really works in unison pretty much with that melee stuff because it's just way easier to get tankier now, or it feels like it's a lot easier to get tankier because you just got like a bigger life pool basically because the life rolls on gear are just so much higher. Like I keep finding gear with like, 110, 140 to life. So rather than, like 60 or 70. So that's been great. The league mechanic, that's been pretty cool. I'm kind of enjoying that quite a bit. And something about it that feels nice is that from the get-go, it's kind of actually felt balanced in difficulty. And it feels like it meshes really well with the core gameplay. It feels like it bounces back and forth with the core gameplay really well. Often I found that some of the league mechanics are a bit overtuned at the start of a league, but it hasn't been so with this one, at least in what I've experienced so far of it. So basically with the league mechanic, you've got this town, you're building up this town and you're mining different resources and stuff that you can find out on the map, and then you can like while you're mapping and whatever or playing the campaign, and then you can spend those resources on things to upgrade different elements of the town, which then unlocks different capabilities. So the resources that you can get and encounter is basically there's like crimson ore, which you basically fight, you kill these little growth things and then you'll secure the resource, or a chalcum, which you'll basically activate this shrine thing and then fight some monsters, and then once you've killed them you get the resource, but you also get a cool shrine buff thing which basically just blasts fire down on your enemies. It looks really cool. Petrified amber, basically you defend this tree of petrified amber. Enemies will spawn on different points around you and kind of walk towards the tree and try to attack it. You just have to kill them all off and then you secure the resource and you get that. Then you've got Bismuth, where basically you activate that and you'll just secure it straight away, but then rare enemies in the area will get elemental buffs to them. And then there's Verisium, where you basically hold it down to charge how much of the resource you want to gather, and then that releases more enemies, more powerful enemies based on how much you've charged it up. It's really similar to what was in the Crucible League. But yeah, that's cool. And then basically those resources all go back to the town, and then at the town you can spend those resources and you can basically smelt the ores into bars of the resource by hiring smelters and stuff. So you've got like your miners, which are mining the stuff. You've got your smelters, which is smelting the things. You can get farmers who will, like, you plant different crops and they can grow different crops. And then you've got your shipping stuff, and you've got runesmithing as well. And then there's also like a recombinator you can unlock. There's disenchanting you can unlock, where you can unlock basically getting, I think it's like thaumaturgical dust or something that you get from disenchanting just rare items and stuff. And then you've also got like mapping stuff, which I haven't unlocked yet, but basically that lets you send townsfolk to go and map. You've got different, the different townsfolk, there's different tiers of townsfolk. So they've got different tiers of different skills. So you might want to try and get like a really good high tier farmer or smelter or whatever, to do some of those jobs for you. The shipping thing is really cool because basically you'll send out a ship and there's different ports that you unlock as you upgrade the shipping, and then their different ports seem to have different resources that they want more of, and you kind of get like a bonus for it, I think. So you send those resources, and the other thing I've noticed is that I think if you send some of the thaumaturgical dust or whatever, that really buffs how much reward you're kind of getting, but it makes it more risky and stuff. So it buffs the value of the shipment you're sending, but it's like ups the risk a lot. But then that in turn will potentially give you a really big profit. And that's cool when the ships do come back, because usually you'll get like a nice little bump of currency items, depending again on the value of the shipment that you sent. And then you'll occasionally get some nice gear upgrades. I think different ports have like slightly different variations on what stuff they'll send you. But yeah, it's, and they take different amounts of time. The stuff's on a timer. That's another thing I should mention. A lot of the league mechanic stuff, it's kind of like, it takes time to mine the ores and all that. It's all just real time, and it can keep doing it while you're offline, which is quite cool. And the shipments take a certain amount of time, depending how far away the port is that you've sent your ships to. And it's kind of nice having something that's just like in the background, and you can log back in and then see like, oh, I've got some ships that have come back, and I'll go and check out what rewards I've got. There are still some things I haven't played with yet in that town stuff, which is like the recombinator and the runesmithing and stuff. They're kind of sound like they'll be quite fun to play with. And also I haven't made any townsfolk run in the maps, like I said. But that's another thing I'm looking forward to playing with. It's all kind of sounds like quite fun elements. The recombinator sounds really cool. I never used that before. I believe that's returning from an earlier league. But yeah, the recombination is basically just like taking two items, you smash them together, hope to get the best affixes from each kind of. And the runesmithing is like adding another cool enchantment kind of thing on top of an item. I can't remember what items it has to be. I haven't touched it yet. It might be uniques or rares or something. You have to do it too. And townsfolk running maps is just, they run the maps for you. There's like a map machine thing that you can set up in the town, which I haven't got to yet, but yeah, that's going to be fun. There's also some nice little extras that I've noticed that they added to the campaign. That's been kind of cool too. It's just kind of freshened up the campaign a little bit. There's just like a couple of interesting encounters and stuff that you can kind of do. Like I remember on one of the maps in Act 2, I think it was, yeah, the Forsaken Shrine or whatever, or Ruins, or Cemetery or whatever it is. But basically there was, I found like 3 little rooms that had like a little shrine thing in them, and then I activated them, and then there was like a little boss that spawned that I got to fight, so that was cool. Yeah, so that's all really cool elements. I'm really liking how I'm feeling about this league, like, and how I'm feeling about the game. It's just feeling really fun to play at the moment. And I'm enjoying just kind of chilling and taking it at a slower pace and just chilling at my hideout. And the hideout stuff is something I might even play with a little bit this league. Like I might kind of like decorate my hideout with the hideout decorations that you get access to, because you just get heaps of them for free. So I might kind of customize things a little bit. Another thing that's been kind of cool, which was kind of a highlight, that I realized I was very, very lucky today, and I found a Hinakora's Lock. I think it dropped from some expedition enemies or one of the chests from like a little expedition encounter with the dynamite stuff. But apparently from using Awakened PoE, which is a really cool plugin that like shows you the value of things, and then also looking it up on the trade website, which is the official Path of Exile trade website, it looks like it's worth about 29 divine orbs in Settlers League and at the moment, and then about like 250 to 300 divines in standard. So that's pretty damn cool, and for me that's a lot of currency. Like I'm pretty newbie. I tend to get like, you know, 1 or 2 div per league at most if I'm lucky. Or that's been how it's been so far with my PoE experiences. But yeah, for now I'm probably going to just avoid selling it and yeah, just kind of keep doing what I'm doing, because I'm enjoying just building up my character just a little bit at a time and slowly kind of working at it, and mostly just finding my own stuff. I did my first trade today as well. I bought myself a nice helmet because I really needed a helmet upgrade and I just hadn't come across one. So yeah, it's, you know, I'm enjoying taking things at that relaxed pace and just not really trying to rush or anything. And yeah, just enjoying the process, you know, and that has felt really satisfying. This league in particular, I think, again, because of the melee buffs and the build I'm doing, and just being able to do the build I'm doing and being tanky enough because of the life rolls and everything, it just feels really, really chill, which is great. Yeah, my plans for what I'm kind of going to do is just basically I'll continue mapping for a while, and I'll just keep unlocking Atlas passives. At the moment, my Atlas passives, I'm basically just mixing some Blight and Bestiary passives. So I've been enjoying that a fair bit so far. I've played with Blight a little bit before, but the Bestiary stuff, that's mostly new to me. So I'm looking forward to playing around with that just a bunch more, hopefully. Even today, while I was looking at some of the guide stuff, I saw that I could put the like immunity to corrupted blood on the flask. Like I could just use rare creatures that I'd gathered. I could use Bestiary to do that, like the blood arena thing at the menagerie. So that was really cool. So I'm already learning more about that league mechanic. And yeah, then after a bit more mucking around with maps and whatnot and the league mechanic, and once I've done more of that, I'll probably try to take on some of the bosses and try to complete some challenges. In past leagues, I've beat the Syrian Exarch and the Eater of Worlds, and I think they're the two like biggest ones that I've beat. I haven't done the Elder or Shaper or anything yet, or Maven or any of that. So there's still like a lot of bosses and stuff that I haven't beat, because yeah, I'm mostly fairly casual with it, and I'm pretty newbie. So before I wrap up the video, there's just a couple of things I want to quickly mention that I did forget to talk about, which is that there is actually a gold currency now in the game. They're testing this out this league, basically. You can use this gold when you're upgrading your settlement stuff. You can use it for that stuff. It's also, you can come to this Faustus the Financier, and you can have him in your hideout as well. There's 2 things you can do with him. You've got the black market, where you can basically like gamble for items effectively, which is really cool. So you can be like, say there's like a type of item you need. Let's say I might need some boots. So I can go like the different bases of different boots, go for some armor evasion boots. Let's grab a pair of those. Not bad, not bad. And then usually sometimes the rolls on the items that he has can be quite good. So that's pretty cool. Guess we'll try this too. Okay, also pretty damn nice. Winning. But the other thing that he can do, which is a huge thing that they're also trialing this league, they have put in a currency exchange. So all the currency items you can, and all all sorts of things from the different different leagues and whatnot, you can basically trade currency and you just use a little bit of gold to do it. So I can be like, I want Orbs of Transmutation, I have Chaos Orb. And you can see the ratios that you're meant to get. So it's pretty cool. And then you can, if you've got the gold, you can place an order and then it'll fill the orders. And then basically he'll have a graphic above his head that it's been filled. And I think you might get a little notification about it on the side. I'm not 100% about that because I haven't actually used it yet. But I'm sure I will at some point. But yeah, it's just another really cool thing. But yeah, that is kind of my thoughts with the league so far and what I've been up to. I got a good feeling. I just got a really good feeling about this league. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I feel like if I keep playing it a lot like I have been, I might actually end up just pushing further than I ever have before in Path of Exile. So I'm looking forward to all of that. Let me know what you guys think of the Settlers of Kalguur League and the 3.25 update down in the comments, especially if there's any quality of life stuff that you're really enjoying or something about the league you're really loving. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. Have a good day or night, whichever it may be, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.